Now we have a new strain of Ebola. I already just caught it. What it do, and welcome back to Here for the Mess. My name is Jer, and I'm the host of your new favorite show here on YouTube. I hope you're ready to plot some tea because it's about to get messy. Okay, first of all, we gotta address the change of scenery. Y'all, this show is a work in progress. It is a pilot. Y'all are literally building a plane with me, and sometimes we just gotta change things up. But today I was like, I got to go outside. I cannot be cooped up in the house. Look at this weather. Y'all see me? You see the dew? Okay, it's getting hot finally here in New York, which I'm so excited about. Beautiful weather. So I was like, let me go on over to Central Park and just switch things up. Maybe the trees, the ambiance of being within the nature will give me some good insight on the behaviors of some of the people that we're gonna be talking about today, because my oh my, do we got some good story to y'all. Before we get into these hot topics, y'all, I need y'all to go ahead, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 3K within the next 2 months, and I know I can do it with y'all's help. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like, thumbs up, just do the damn thing. Show your girl some love. And with that being said, let's get into these topics, y'all. First up the bat, y'all, we gotta give a big shout out to my girl Shadai Givens of Morgan State University for showing us how we're supposed to do it when we walk across the stage. If you got a graduation and you not celebrating like this, y'all, I know her back is toe up. Homegirl is in the emergency room. But also, I'm not mad at her, because whether it's an undergraduate degree, an associate's degree, a master's degree, girl, bachelor's degree, I don't care. You got to celebrate. You got to live it up. You got to support and believe in yourself. And sometimes people don't believe in you that you're gonna make it through. So I'm sure that this shablam it didn't just come out of left field for no reason. When she does return from the hospital, though, maybe she'll be cast in the new Pose reboot that they'll probably do in 3 to 4 years, because that seems to be the new nostalgic role that everybody wants to do. But yes, homegirl was not playing around, y'all. It's everybody in the background for me. Humans are so funny. I just love that she said, we're just gonna change this whole graduation ceremony into a ball. Like, welcome to the ballroom, girl. And to be honest, this culture has been like embedded into the sphere of things anyway. Walk around, all you hear is everybody talk about no tea, no shade, and everything is so tea and all that. That came from the ballroom scene anyway. Go watch Paris is Burning if you need some clarification. But nevertheless, I don't know, made my week. There are still some crazy people out here in the world, and I absolutely love it. I'm probably one of them. Shout out to all the graduates. Y'all did that. Moving on to, speaking of high kicks, y'all, the Pussycat Dolls. If y'all didn't hear earlier this year, the Pussycat Dolls did a big announcement that they were doing a world tour, only featuring 3 members. Obviously, Nicole Scherzinger, since she want to sing everything, Kimberly Wyatt, and Ashley Roberts. Fast forward 3 months, y'all, the tour is canceled. Well, not the whole tour, but all of the North American dates. Which is like, what? Now, in my opinion, it kind of makes sense, because their market was always Europe. If you think about it, even when I was in high school and I saw them in concert, they were always a supporting act. They always did like promo stuff, like the TRLs and stuff like that. I don't want to say that this is not a surprise, but I'm just like, this kind of makes sense. This kind of tracks. And I think that they were a bit ambitious of thinking that they were going to be doing arena tours in 2026, when they've only released 2 singles within the last, 7 to 8 years. And they not even promoting. See, here's my thing. Before I even get into this performance, well, I guess I gotta catch y'all up. So now what the Pussycat Dolls are doing are these like little corporate gigs. They're still gonna do their WeHo Pride Festival show, which I think is a good thing, because you know the gays gonna rock for the Pussycat Dolls. But they've been doing these little corporate gigs and it just got me thinking. Number one, you release a new single, you didn't even perform club songs. Why release a new song if you're not even gonna push it? Secondly, they got background dancers. They had like maybe 2 to 3 background dancers. Why do y'all have background dancers when you could have literally just got the other members that were in the group and had a 5-piece or a 6-piece Pussycat Doll reunion like you did in 2020? Nicole is kind of giving like karaoke. Like she playing a Lifetime movie of herself in a weird way. It's like she's playing herself. She not being Nicole the Pussycat Dolls. She's like playing the role of Nicole Scherzinger of the Pussycat Dolls, if that made any sense. I need her to kind of like wake up from this. If you claim to be the lead doll, and now girl, see all the stuff that was masked by having a whole troop of dolls behind you, well no girl, now it's only 2, and then you got the background dancers in a different color, thinking that makes sense. Y'all should have just had a reunion with all the members. Why have backup dancers when you have a group with 5, 6, 9 other members when they started? I got a whole other episode of this on the Weekly Wind Down if you want to check that out. But nevertheless, Nicole, get it together, boo. The dolls that we remember are the dolls from 2005, and again, they were like a posse of crew, not Mean Girls. And that's another thing. Y'all be thinking like, well, how are these artists like funding their lifestyles when we all struggling? How are these celebrities making their dollar stretch? They going and doing these little corporate gigs. They going and performing at these little tech company lunches. That's why y'all be seeing Katy Perry and Justin Bieber doing these little intimate gigs. This is how they're funding themselves and keeping themselves alive. outside of doing the tour. So everybody getting robbed, pimped out. Even when you think your artist on hiatus, they ain't on hiatus, girl. They over here running up these streets, even here in New York, which is the biggest gimme gotcha, because y'all be laughing at the people performing on the subways, saying, oh, they're wasting their lives performing on these trains and stuff like that. Your favorite celebrities are just doing the same thing, but the corporate version. So everybody getting pimped out at the end of the day. Same tune, different font. I think that would be kind of cool, though. I wouldn't mind seeing the Pussycat Dolls actually at Lent, now that I think about it. But isn't that sad, though? Our girls deserve more than that. They at least deserve to be on like the SWV type tour, the reunion tour, or like what O-Town them is doing, and Chris Kirkpatrick and Ryan Cabrera, they're all on some like That's So 90s tour. At least that makes sense, because like they came out all around the same era, which I guess is what they were trying to do, because they had Lil' Kim and Maya as opening acts. They should reconsider this. I think they should just downgrade to smaller venues, or maybe do like a 6-city main tour where people can travel into the city, because I just feel like WeHo Pride ain't enough to maximize this, and they also need to be getting back in that studio and practicing, girl, because I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Thirdly, I just feel like the girls not giving it they all, and maybe it's because they're in their 40s and 50s and stuff, but I don't know. It's giving High School Musical production of the Pussycat Dolls, even though they are the dolls. I'm not saying that they're stiff per se. I just feel like the fluidity as the collective is a bit stale in comparison to how they used to present themselves as a 6-piece and a 5-piece. Now we gotta get into some juicy stuff. Have y'all been hearing this stuff about this Dr.Cheyenne Bryant? Well, I need to be using Dr. lightly here, girl. I gotta tread lightly, because even the publishers revoking the books. So much has happened within 2 weeks' time. But there's this life coach, and she's been doing her thing. She's been doing tours, she has podcasts, making her rounds around social media as being this transformational life coach with back degrees. It's kind of giving Rachel Dolezal, but not that extent of like transracial, just fraud. Or what was the homeboy in Florida that was that doctor? Y'all remember that story from years ago? Or the freaking veneer techs in Atlanta? Anywho, it's come to a lot of people's attention that Miss Cheyenne does not actually have a degree. Most people have some type of like published thesis online if they were actually credited for going to university and finishing what they had to do, and hers is nowhere to be found. Her response to her degree not being tangible or physical at this moment is apparently she went to a particular university, and then the university, when she went to ask for her transcripts, the university is now officially closed down. A third party bought the information of the school, but then they only keep the information for 2 years after they purchase it, which should have been everybody's first red flag, because I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Even if you go on data farm, these people love to log and keep eternally. They're not going to just erase the information. Nevertheless, it's been flagging people's radar that this lady is not legit, which a lot of people are upset, because if you're parading around saying that you have a master's degree, it's discrediting all the people that actually went to school to get their degree. All people are saying is, if you didn't get the achievement, girl, don't be saying that you do. You can have all the certificates, you can go through all the other programs, you can do all of that stuff, and that all of that stuff is valuable, in my opinion. You can also have some great words of wisdom and not have gotten your master's degree. Or if you do have it, don't cuss us out, because that was the thing that I wasn't understanding. Why are we getting cussed out for asking, well, where's your degree? That's another thing. I hate when people bring religion into things, saying, well, God knows my path and God knows what I did and I don't have anything to prove to other people. Well, I do feel if you have a business like such and you are marketing yourself as something like such, and you have plaques all on your wall behind you when you do these Zoom calls and stuff like that, it seems that you would want to have that degree on display, you know, and you would want to just honor your word if you're using that as a marketing tool to draw people into your business. I personally don't blame critics for wanting to hold her accountable for having her stuff on public record, just because that's a push and pull of being in the spotlight and in the entertainment industry. Even though being a lifestyle coach is not necessarily synonymous with being in the entertainment industry, her lane of how she's marketing herself is giving influencer. It's giving that she wants to be in the spotlight. So that's a push and pull that comes with the spotlight. This is something that they would do with any other guest, any other controversial topic, and you just got to have the goods to back it up, and apparently homegirl don't. This is also giving Coach Stormy, who is now, first of all, I've always thought that she was kind of like a problematic case with her legs cocked all out, telling that lady that she couldn't eat her low vibrational plate. But now she's saying that she never told people that she could help them become millionaires, where I definitely have seen this type of social media campaign from her come out. So stuff like that, then people got to like walk the fine line of how they say things to make sure that they can like beat around the bush. Well, that gives scammer, girl. That gives untrustworthy. I want to work with people that can just say it how it is. Work in honesty and truth. And that's part of the reason why I had like a disdain with corporate. People love to like beat around the bush and teeter-totter around like big things, whether it even comes to big budget issues or camaraderie amongst different silos within a team. Things like this need to be discussed. That's not the time to be sitting there, oh, I don't know if I want to talk about this, or this might not be the right time, or maybe we should postpone this meeting. No, we got to get to it right now. That's an automatic red flag that you a scammer if I see stuff like that, and I'm gonna put you into a little bucket over here. And now Miss Cheyenne is adding herself into that list of the Rachel Dolezals, of the Coach Stormies, of, like I said, that guy in Florida that used to be doing medical malpractice. For you to start off the interview talking about you don't give a goddamn about what we got to think about you, well, again, that already make you untrustworthy. Y'all just gonna have to deal with the helicopter because she just want to join the party. And you know, who wouldn't want to? They're here for the best. It's tea, girl. All in all, my lesson with this, what I've absorbed from this is y'all just go to school, take your time, just go get the education, go get the accredited certifications that you need to keep it pushing. This whole dragging the situation out, it weakens the sauce. It's only gonna take what, 2 to 3 years, especially like these master's degrees and stuff like that. They're not these 4-year things. Some of them you can get in a year and a half. Go ahead and get the education instead of like skipping the gun and then now you're getting embarrassed like this in front of the whole world in an era where the Shade Room, the Neighborhood Talk, and Jason Lee love to just put stuff on blast like that. So I'll keep y'all posted on what comes up this next, so because it's gonna be interesting to monitor. Girl, y'all know every single episode I'm gonna find a way to incorporate my girl Manon, okay, ex-member of Cat's Eye. Yep, I'm saying it. I'm starting a little rumor. This is why I love her, because she's so selfless. She dedicated a huge portion of her appearance on Germany's Next Top Model discussing her love and admiration for her other members of her ex-group Cat's Eye, which just confirms that even when she was filming this in November, that she had no idea her hiatus was coming up right after the Grammys. You see how these labels be doing people? They be pimping people out. I have been a victim of this as well. They'll pimp you out and they erase you like you ain't bring all the capital, you ain't bring all the attention, everything that you needed, the metrics to prove, to validate to these companies, hey, we need to do a collaboration, because that's what it was. They said, we got this eye candy, and they will definitely bring the engagement that you need to the brand. That's exactly what Manon did. And now they got the bar of Cat's Eye up here, and then say, oh, I'm gonna do away with you, girl. They did the same thing to my girl Tiffany and Girlicious. Like, I can't stand that. We gotta stop letting this happen, y'all. We be rooting for us to be having opportunities, but sometimes I be thinking it's not worth it at the end of the day, because tell as old as time, Beauty and the Beast, girl, they are the beast. Okay, I can't take it no more. Stop pimping us out just to throw us away for dead. It's not fair. Anyway, my girl was looking beautiful, sitting up there next to legends. See, that's where she belonged, with the Heidi Klum's girl. Okay, that's where Manon should be at, doing her influencer campaigns with Tommy Hilfiger and all the stuff that she got coming out in the future. I hope that y'all can really see how y'all let this company sit here and exploit not only this girl's talent, but her social media capital and her social candor and personality to be able to interact with people, because this new version of Cat's Eye is not the same Cat's Eye that everybody just grew to love for the last 2.5, 3 years. Y'all can sit here and pretend it is, but that just goes to show you how diluted this world is. People would just change narrative just like that to escape, instead of addressing the real issues at hand and how corrupt a system can be right in front of your face. Something that you digest every single day, a group that you listen to their music every single day, and then when there's a system glitch, y'all just want to say, oh, well, we just gonna turn to another TV monitor and pretend like all of this bullshit ain't happening over here. We all gotta wake up, and it ain't just Hyde McGuffin, it's everybody, y'all. Like I said, something like this is exactly what Manon should be doing. She should just be existing like a socialite. I feel like the music and the singing and acting and dancing and stuff like that, that's just like the cherry on top. That's just the added bonus of the allure that she already brings as just being a person that exists. And don't say that she can't do this, because we already just witnessed in previous decades, Paris Hilton, I don't want to say become famous for nothing, but she kind of showed us that there is a will and a way to get paid just to be you, girl. And look what that rolled into, the Kardashians. Now this has become social media influencers. Like, look at how this stuff rolls out. She deserves her piece in the pie. Y'all better watch out for this squirrel, girl. I think you're trying to come get my juice. You're not getting my juice, girl. Talk about transcending boundaries. Michael Jackson is taking over the world once again, which I think is so cool. And it's really cool to see a timeline where people aren't viewing him in such like a negative light, because I will say in my teenhood, even in my childhood, but definitely in my teenhood and adolescence, it was a lot of the drama of the negativity coming with him about lack of record sales, battles with his music label, the allegations of the icky stuff happened at Neverland, like all that stuff was always clouding what his vision was. And after seeing this movie, I'm so glad that it's kind of like reawakened the world, that if you give people the chance to express themselves exactly the way they want to, they can be revolutionary. We don't all gotta like copycat each other. We can just download these weird, crazy ideas to our brain and let them come to life. And also stand on your own volition. You don't have to let someone abusive like your damn dad, Joe, tell you what to do in life. Let Joe Jackson be a reference to all the challenging dementors in your life that are just trying to like drag things around and sway you off course. Follow what's in here and you could become the next Disney, the next Michael Jackson. I love the fact that it felt movie-like, it felt cinematic. It made me feel like I was watching something from the 90s, which is really important because I feel like a lot of movies have lost that luster. Everything always feels so rushed and also like almost AI generated, which was something that I didn't like from the movie because they doing like this AI generation of the Dodger Stadium, making it look like it's like 5 times bigger than what the Dodger Stadium is. So stuff like that, you need like a human's perspective, but outside of that, I love the storytelling. It was so movie-like, and I feel like that's what's gonna make it a classic for a new generation to vibe with Michael Jackson. And what I think is so cool is that he's on top of the charts right now. Beat It is top 20 on Billboard, #1 on Spotify worldwide. But this is like 43 years later after the song has come out. So I think that's just something so cool. And someone did a comparison of like the songs on the chart and how the majority of none of them except for one in like the top 20 have come out this year. All of it has been like nostalgic stuff from the past. And that just goes, I want us creatives. We got to start doing our own thing, our own vibe, our own frequency, and stop trying to copycat this current trend stuff because it's not even lasting. We can start to see these people not even nearing what the people, our legends of the past, were doing, and it's because they were sticking to their own volition and their own vision as opposed to trying to copycat each other and copycat trends. Got to focus on that. I think that's what's going to get us out of this hump, this hurdle of people not being able to stick like they were in the past. It's my favorite thing, seeing babies that were just born in like the year 2026. People turn on the Michael Jackson music video and they instantly start dancing and grooving. That's how you know that the vibrations that he put out were pure and very intentional to be long lasting, to be forever. I just love that. Like, intent is so needed in order to make things happen, but you can actually watch it manifest and just look at that. I know he would be so happy to see people being so excited over his music in 2026. And shout out to Jafar. Wow, at times I was like, wow, this is Michael Jackson. They did a really good job just capturing Michael's essence. So that was super fun. Go see the movie, y'all. There's an honorable mention. Shout out to my girl, Janet Jackson. She just celebrated her 60th birthday. Everybody keeps talking about this Johnny Gill clip. Oh my gosh. I mean, there have been allegations for years about his sexuality or sexual fluidity, which is nobody's business at the end of the day. But my oh my, it's so fun to see people comfortable around their friends with some liquor. That's when you definitely get the truth. T girl. Y'all, Duran Bernard, he just released his new album, y'all. Bernard. Oh, so good. So many cool collaborations. I wasn't expecting songs from like Big Sean and Seven Streeter, but a really great album. He definitely has his sound of like that funkadelic 70s vibe, which I was curious if he was going to stick with that, similar to how like Victoria Monet is doing with the whole Jaguar series, but he definitely has that sound. And I also love to see queer Black talent be in the spotlight, talking about their sexuality within their lyrics and having all types of people featured on their album to show that it can, all of these things can transcend all of that. You can collaborate with everyone regardless of your sexual orientation or your race, all that kind of stuff. Honestly, Duran is giving me like if Luther Vandross would have come out. So it's so cool to see everything on the other side and that we can prop up someone that is out and proud and also talented like hell. And to top things off, y'all, if we didn't already have enough viruses floating around this wonderful, wonderful world, now we have a new strain of Ebola. I already just caught it, taking over, terrorizing the world, and I'm just like, whoa, it's like, maybe it's the millennial in me, but I feel like we have just been through so many. I grew up in Florida where we had hurricanes taking us out of school and we have no power for 5 weeks. So it's like, kind of feels like the Hunger Games, but in reality, like I kind of expect every year something crazy like this is supposed to happen, but every single time it does happen, I just be like, my, oh my. Maybe it's because I don't have faith on how this is going to be prohibited from spreading, I'd say, because they just announced that someone with the damn hantavirus was out caught at a bar in Italy when he was supposed to be in quarantine. So you just go to see right there that there is no collectivism in this. People are always going to be individualistic and consider themselves over protecting other people in their community, their own family, even at that. I always say this every single week, but I need y'all to be safe because I need y'all to be able to stick around and watch more of these videos of me just keeping it real and clocking this heat. I was the only one on my plane to Atlanta, y'all, wearing a mask, and that's kind of sad, especially in New York. I feel like New York is more progressive when it comes to wellness and health safety, but apparently not. And you know, goddamn, nobody in Atlanta was wearing no damn mask. They was looking at me like I was crazy wearing that mask over there. But I would encourage y'all, just start wearing it, even though it is hot, girl. You need to be able to breathe, girl. Breathe on me. Come on, Brittany. With that being said, girl, it's time to go. We gotta go continue this walk in Central Park and enjoy the rest of this beautiful Monday in New York. So lucky to live here. Y'all stay blessed and make sure to send this video to anyone that needs a little catch up of everything that happened this last week and is ready and excited for more that's coming. I hope your cup of tea was filled up, girl. See y'all next week.